Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Becoming Mindful podcast, where we will be talking about the intersection of mindfulness and creativity or art today. I am Maria.
And I am Jackie, and we are Becoming Mindful.
So do we want to do a quick check-in again today?
Yeah, let's check in, see how our own practices are going. How about you, Maria? How's it going?
Yeah, so I think it's going the same. I haven't expanded much on the ones I've been doing, except I've tried out some of the things that we'll be talking about today. It's pretty much the same as before. A kindness meditation during the brushing my teeth and some walking meditation when I go from the parking lot to the office. How about you, Jack?
Nice. Same. Things are going well. I spent a week last month actually camping out of range of cell phone service. So I got to spend like a whole week just outside and in a very peaceful environment. And I found when I got back that my practices were a lot easier to do. It tapered off from there, but like right away, it was much easier to just get into that space and be really present. And it has trickled off since then. That was like 3 weeks ago. And now it's taken a little effort again, but it was a good reminder that being in nature and getting away from everything can help you to get into that mindful state more easily. So it's probably something I need a lot more of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I know nature is definitely always a great trigger or like a great environment to easily go into mindfulness.
Just taking a little bit of effort to keep that momentum going. So, but it's going really well.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I haven't been able to go out into yard as much in the last weeks just because it was raining and now there's so many mosquitoes. So it's not very mindfulness inducing if you get eaten alive.
Here too.
Great. Yeah, let's talk about mindfulness and creativity or art, different types of art. So maybe let's just start with why we're going to talk about this topic, as well as how we feel that mindfulness and creativity intersect and what they mean to each other and how they're linked to each other.
All right. I think that mindfulness and art just go so hand in hand. Art is such a universal thing. We see it all over the place. We see it in every culture because it comes from that really primal state that you can access through mindfulness. That's where a lot of inspiration comes from.
And if we remember back to our episode about the history and different techniques around the world, a lot of the indigenous mindfulness practices were really around art. You had music, singing. We had a lot of artistic expression really in those techniques and practices.
Mm-hmm.
And personally, I feel it has a lot to do with just that art or creativity or creating really induces a state of mindfulness. It's very much focused as a focused activity. And I would even include things like artisan, woodworking, whatever you want to include. But when you do something artistic, you are very easily in the present moment and focusing. And so you automatically fall into this mindfulness state. Once you practice mindfulness, once you're more present or more aware, there's also a lot more inspiration that just comes to you, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. Mindfulness helps you really go deep within, right? And go beyond the superficial. Artistic expression offers an opportunity to express and share whatever you find there. And often the places that mindfulness can take you are really honest and raw and I think that can be hard to explain to someone without a medium like art, which has really few limitations, and you're really free to find the medium that helps you to communicate whatever you're feeling. Like you said, there's traditional mediums and painting and drawing or poetry, and you've got art and dance and music and woodworking, like all sorts of things. So it gives you so much more freedom for your expression and what you do find within.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mindfulness is a muse.
It is. It definitely is a muse, but it's not only a muse to your creativity. I think it's also is the end result as well as the muse.
It's circular. Yeah, they just feed into each other.
Yes, exactly. So this is very interesting. Yeah, I found this interesting quote from Eckhart Tolle about creativity and mindfulness and stillness, how essentially creativity really springs from the place where mindfulness is, right? So the quote goes, true creativity flows only from stillness. When stillness becomes conscious, the spiritual dimension enters your life and you begin to be guided by an intelligence far greater than the human mind. And I really like that because it really has this, I don't know, I'm envisioning this, you're getting to this place of stillness and you're opening yourself, and then the creativity or the consciousness kind of rushing into you, which is really what oftentimes when making art and getting this inspiration to make something, that's really what it is. So it like flows. And I feel that when you then do a creative activity, especially art, it's almost like it's pulling it in. It's almost like it helps it flow better. It's very weird. That's how I envision it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was a beautiful way to put it. You're talking about that flow state you can get into. And I think you're right. That can be compared to a meditative state. And you're just letting whatever arises and bubbles up to be expressed and come out of you.
Exactly. They are very much linked to each other in almost like a circular way, right? Given that, I think we both have experienced that with some art, and we wanted to explore some of the practices that are maybe common or something that people have tried before, that are some mindfulness artistic practices.
Yeah, let's talk about some of the ones that we've explored or that maybe we've talked about here or that we've personally done. I think it was our first episode. We talked about brush meditation from the Zen philosophy of using calligraphy or the Enzo Zen circle you may have seen as a meditation. And that's a really beautiful practice. And the mindset that you're in when you're creating these should be coming through the brush.
And that one is you draw a circle, right?
Yeah, so you start at the center of the bottom of the circle and then draw in a clockwise direction to draw the circle, and you're supposed to make just one motion to go all the way around.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I like that. One that we've also talked about, probably in our history episode, was the sand mandalas, right? That are done by the monks. Pretty sure most people have seen these somewhere on TV before. The whole practice is to make these circular shapes and patterns with different colored sand.
And the whole process is a contemplative, meditative practice that takes a long time, has a whole ritual around it.
Right. Yeah, because with the mandala, obviously you're trying to have a consistent shapes that are replicated around the circle. There's also precision and focus involved, and definitely being with this activity for a while. And what I thought is very interesting about it too, or just so different than most activities when you're creating or doing art, is that they wipe away the sand after they're done. It's not permanent.
Yeah.
So that's a really nice one where we're not working towards something that's permanent or that we want to keep.
Right. There's no artifact. Yeah.
I've actually tried another one, which I can mention, and I wanted to make a video of this one as well, is ink or color spills or lines, and then you let yourself be guided to find shapes or find a form in there.
Oh, cool.
One of them is the water serpent exercise. So essentially you just take your brush and draw a wavy line.
Mm-hmm.
And then you add some little features here and there to become a water serpent. And you just let yourself be guided by whatever you want to do. It's relatively quick in this flow motion again, where you just let your brush stroke be guided by the practice. You're not actually intending a specific shape or anything like that.
Sounds really cool. Yeah, I would love to watch a video of you doing that. That reminded me of, you're getting a little more abstract, and I think the artistic practice where I can be most meditative and lose track of time is outdoor, like nature photography. And there's so many different, I think, ways to be a photographer. But as far as a mindful practice, I really like to photograph like clouds in the sky and find abstract shapes. I don't think I could make photographing people a really mindful practice for me. I think I've just got too much social anxiety around that. But yeah, photographing like nature or the sky and just losing yourself in the shapes of nature too, and capturing those.
Yeah. And that's actually one too, if you're talking about nature and outdoor things, the flower or nature arrangements, rock arrangements, sand, Zen gardens, those kind of things. That's a big one too. Now, one caveat there is you don't really want to do that in nature in a park. You want to do this in a garden or a specific area that's specifically for that, because you don't want to disrupt nature to do this. I just recently read something about how park rangers had to deconstruct rock sculptures that people did.
Oh yeah, like a rock stacking.
Yeah, because it's actually bad for the creatures that live there and it could be dangerous for them. But otherwise, this is definitely also a mindfulness practice. If you want to stack rocks, right?
Just put them back where you found them.
Or do it in a specific setting for that, like in your yard or in a Zen garden.
Oh, I could see that. Oh, I like that. It's like a little part of a Zen garden in your yard, like a rock garden. Right. That could be really pretty.
And the same with dried flowers or flower arrangements, just laying them out. It's interesting. My kid actually did this. Just grabbed some flowers from our yard and just arranging them by size or in a circle or something. Or sticks by size lined up. I don't know. Just something like that.
Kids are just in it. We should just mimic whatever they're doing. Another artistic mindful practice, we've talked about it already today, is dance. And I love a lot of the dance that I've done is choreographed, but I did a bunch of workshops where we danced to live music that was improvisational. And in that kind of a setting, I think it's almost necessary to have a mindful approach to it and let go of any stiffness or any tension and be in the moment. And when you're dancing and you get in that mindful state and you're just moving.
Yeah, just flows and you're just moving however you want in line with the music and don't even care if it's a specific dance move or not. Move your body to the music.
And you can totally see kids doing that
all the time.
They just move. So much dance is part of mindfulness practices and spiritual practices throughout the world.
Agreed. And music and singing too. One example stood in my mind, which obviously we can't really reproduce, is the didgeridoo music, because I can't play it. And I heard it's really hard actually. So I don't have one either.
All right. But yeah, playing music, you get into a groove and you're just jamming. That can just be a meditation on its own too. You can just get into that state where you're just feeling it and you're not thinking, you're just playing.
Yeah, I mean, if you are a musician, that's definitely an option for you. Or if you want to just explore singing something, definitely poetry is also one example, although I'm not sure exactly how to practice mindfulness with poetry. I know that Thich Nhat Hanh does poetry, for example, and he's pretty much always mindful. Not really, but you know, like it feels like he's always mindful. But personally, for myself, I'm not really sure how I would implement that.
Yeah, I don't know either. It feels more of a cerebral activity, but maybe that's because I'm not a poet.
And maybe it is different if you're the real poet and it just flows better. I've written poetry, but usually that's more of you actually have to think about which words you want to use and those kind of things. So I don't feel it's very mindful in with that regards.
Me too. I love to write poetry, I think, because I like words so much, but it's mostly spent when it's thesaurus.
So it's more of a goal-oriented thing versus like in the moment.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to find the perfect word. So there's definitely a lot of different things that are creative and that relate to mindfulness. What we were thinking for the rest of this month, we would like to pick some of these and try them out and share them with you via our Instagram account. So we were thinking of doing some videos of how to do them or us doing them, and then share this with you so you can try them out as well. I know I've done the water serpent, so definitely that's probably going to be the first video I'm going to share with you. All
right, cool. I'm excited to see that one. I think I'm going to start with improvisational dance.
Yeah, perfect. That's perfect. That will be great.
And then, I don't know, I want to try a couple more of these too before the next episode. So we'll see where the month takes me.
And we can go beyond the month too and share these if we wanted to try more of them, or somehow can think of more of them as well.
Yeah, also, if you guys have any suggestions out there of things we should try, let us know.
We are always open for suggestions. We love comments. We love your input. We would like to involve you in this journey. We hope you can learn with us. So that obviously goes both ways. We are not 100% sure what we're going to pick next month yet. So we were going to announce that on our social media and on the website once we have picked the topic.
It'll be a surprise.
Yes. Yay, surprise. So you have to follow us. So if you want to hear more, hear the next episode, see our videos, please go ahead and follow us on our social medias, Instagram. You can subscribe on our website to the podcast. And we hope to have you again for the next episode.
Thanks for listening. And until next time, be well.